Shalom, shalom, brothers and sisters. This is your Levitical priest back at it with another video. Hope you enjoy it. If you like the video, please hit the like button and feel free to subscribe to my channel and get all my latest videos. Today, I want to talk about a very interesting subject that I went before the Lord to find out about, and that was captivity after captivity. Why did Israel go into so many captivities? And it seems obvious when you say, well, idolatry. But what does that mean when you have experienced blessing after blessing of the Lord? You saw the Red Sea part, you saw manna come from heaven, and God sent you quails and all types of things, water come from rocks. And man, look, how did we do that? What was the key? And so when I prayed about it, I prayed about it after reading the book of Judges, put it like that. And I was reading the book of Judges, and I was wondering, what did the Judges mean? Just get clarification on that. And when I read the book of Judges, the Lord sent judges to Israel. It all started with Moses and his father-in-law telling him to select men to help judge matters of Israel while Moses stood on the rock all day. So these judges continued after he left. After Moses died, the judges were continued after Joshua, and God sent a deliverer to them every time they went into captivity. And then you'll read the judge lived so many years, and after that they go into 18 years of captivity. Then they go into 20 years of captivity. Then they're going to 15 years of captivity or whatever, and the Lord will send a deliverer every time throughout the tribes of Israel. You had Manasseh, you had Issachar, you had deliverers being selected among all the tribes to help deliver the people from bondage, because we refuse to drive out our enemies. Now check this out. The Lord sent us in, we took over the land, but we refused. Every tribe refused to drive and devour their enemy out. So we lived amongst our enemies and around our enemies, surrounding them. And what happened with that was we end up falling into snares and traps of the other nationalities and succumbing to them in such ways like committing adultery. But when I prayed about why so many captivities, yes, the influence was there, but what avenue did the influences come to make us fall? So Lord, as I was reading Judges, I ran across Samson, Gideon, and all of them. But Samson really stood out because Samson represented Israel, the strong man, the man with all the power that can handle anyone. But then he had one weakness, and that was a woman. He gave his secret to a woman, and that caused his fall twice. Boom! I mean, come on. He had all this power, and he fell at the hand of a woman because their enemy went to his woman to get him to fall and to tell his secrets, his weakness. And so when you look at other men that have went the same path, you see that Adam did the same thing with Satan. Satan always comes the same way. He came through Eve to tempt her to get to Adam. We see a pattern forming here. So King Solomon, the wisest man, the richest man on earth. And how did he fall? Through a woman. Now, this is not to say that women are bad. It's just that our weakness, Israel's weakness, is woman. And it's so cheap that your enemy will come by way of your woman. He can't come to you as a man and make you fall. He has to go through the back door, through the weaker vessel. And it's not even a weaker vessel. It's our heart is our women. Because Adam longed for that woman. God saw that Adam was not like him. And so he gave him a woman because he saw that He wasn't like the Lord that can be alone like the Lord and dwell by himself. So Lord put Adam to sleep and he gave him a wife. And that's spiritual sleep. He made him rest, chill out, and he brought him his wife to him. And he saw that, she had the attributes needed to be his wife. But that was his weakness. He still was supposed to garden that thing. He was still supposed to set order to everything. But he gave in to the woman. And you got Samson. Who you got? You got Adam. You got King Solomon. All of these men fail. So if Samson represents Israel spiritually strong, but when it came to his woman, he was weak. When you look at all those captivities we went into, think about that. You can't have no other God before you at all, in no manner. It's like, I always use this example. If you meeting your spouse at a restaurant, and when you get there, there's a man sitting there. And as you approach, he leaves. You say, well, who is that? Oh, just a friend. You meet your wife again at a restaurant. The same man is there. And when you approach, he leaves again. After the second or third time, you're like, look, whatever this is, I'm not being a part of it. That's the way God is. That's the way the Most High is. He don't want nobody else around us. He don't want nothing else. So he'll leave. Think about King Saul. King Saul disobeyed the Lord, and the spirit of the Lord was removed from him, and an evil spirit came to vex King Saul. So King Saul was jealous, envious. He was just vile, murderous. All these spirits will fall upon you. And when you read the book of Judges, you'll see that by way of giving into our women. And how did that happen? Let's think about how that may happen. You got a woman, you married, and your woman, she wants Valentine's Day. And she's vexing you about after the Sabbath, before the Sabbath. Let's do this. Can't we just do this? Before you know it, you're consistently yielding on the Sabbath. You're consistently yielding to the holidays, going to visit people. You're consistently giving a present here, a present just for the kids. Before you know it, you've lost your way. You've lost the Most High. Because once you start doing those things consistently and more often, then the Most High is out of your spirit. You've lost your way. You don't even want to talk about the Sabbath no more. You're so disgusted. Now you're just fully just blown in. And now you're lost. Now you're doing everything you used to do. And now because you know better, those spirits come to vex you. And you are 7 times worse than what you were. Now you're fully reprobate. Now you're at the bottom. This is the same thing that happened to Israel continually. Yielding to our women instead of being leaders, instead of being stern. If you're stern, you're not going to make her leave. If it's not meant for her to be there, then she's not going to be there. You have to trust the Most High with everything. If you lose all, you have to love him more than anything. And guess what? When you do that, he'll give you whatever you thought you was going to lose back. If not the same person, he'll give you someone else or something else, another job, just trust him. We got to stop being so weak. We got to stop being so apologetic for serving the Most High with all our heart, mind, and soul. You see, the 10 Commandments start off with the top 4. And once you get rid of those top 4, loving God with all your heart, mind, and soul, bringing worshiping other gods, and you lose the Sabbath day, and you start blaspheming the name of the Lord, now you're doing all types of things. But it all starts with loving God, loving the Most High with all your heart, mind, and soul. Brothers, we are accountable for following the Most High unapologetically, sternly. And that's love. That's love, because you're now protecting the home. You're protecting the children. You're protecting yourself. You're staying in the good graces of God, and you're protecting your people. And you're getting righteous women in line so that they can build. But they need your protection to stay stern. I know that everybody, wants somebody to love, but the Most High got to be your true love. He has to be, you got to love him more than anything. The comparison of your love should be to your woman is hate, or to east to west. You love her, but if she decides not to follow the Lord, you got to drop her, or drop him, or drop it, or drop the job, or drop even children. Nothing. He who loves his mother, brother, father, sister more than me is not worthy of me. There's nothing that should come close to your love for the Most High, and nothing that you shouldn't be willing to give up for it. And I know that's a hard saying when things happen. I pray the Most High that I'm strong in every situation, but let me encourage you today. These are why we kept losing the Most High. We can't have anything, another God close to us, near us, flirting with it. Don't touch it. Don't deal with it at all. And don't be apologetic for it. And watch the Lord move heaven and earth for you. There's nothing that we wanted that the Lord wouldn't try to give us. We wanted a king, and the Lord gave us a king. It was never meant for us to have a king. We want a divorce. The Lord never meant for us to have a divorce, but you can't get no better than the Lord, the way he helped and worked with us. And look, his hand is not short. The Lord does not slacken anything. The Most High is a greater than what I can tell you. He is more than what you ever believe and want. So we have to believe that in our heart. And there's no lack in the Lord and the Most High. So, there's a lot of things I could say on and on about women, the wickedness of a woman. You see, the thing when it comes to this one scripture that stands out to me, and it talks about it's Ecclesiastes 25:19. And it says, all wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. Let the portion of the sinner fall upon her. Now, when we read that verse, you got to understand something. Women, and I heard Pastor Dow say this. I listen to everybody, so I don't get offended. I listen to everybody, all 12 tribes I listen to. I garner things out of this truth. I don't agree with everything. But I always heard him say, women don't like facts. Women don't like truth. Because if you look at it, you see one woman have a child out of wedlock. She struggled, and her child grows up, end up in jail. Then you see the next woman come right behind her, do the same thing, and they believe that all of them feel like their circumstances are different, and they don't care nothing about no truth. And this is not to put down women, but it takes a special woman to care about truth. And most women don't care about truth. It takes a special Israelite woman that care about the Lord. Even among the Israelite women, you have to sift it, because it takes a special woman to care about facts, to care about truth, because every woman have their own interpretation of what things look like, what things should be. I got 6 sisters, and you talk about, if you tell them, well, your jeans are too tight. No, my jeans ain't too tight. I can pinch something off here. I can pull about an inch off. The other one say, well, I can pull up a centimeter. That's not too tight. Everybody got a different definition for what is. So when it comes to interpretation, the Lord gives you interpretation, because women compromise those things. So that's why men, you have to lead. And you have to set the standard that the Lord sets. And you got to make sure you're studied up to make sure you know what the Lord wants, what the Most High wants for your family. It's not even your own interpretation. But once you find that truth out, you need to lead it and govern it and manage it. And it's work. It's not easy. Sometimes you have to make people upset. Sometimes you have to make your woman and your children upset. But in this wicked society that resembles the wickedness of our women, that they are following, you have to stay stern. And it's good to have like minds around you to support you in this. And it's very important to have brothers and sisters that you're constantly being taught and encouraged and educated on how the world is and the standards of the world and the wickedness of the world in high places. Because a lot of this wickedness has started in high places. And we point the finger at each other, but these things have been set up for you through group tanks, what they call those think tanks. IUIC had a great video on that last Sabbath. All praises to those brothers for putting that out there. But they have think tanks that sit back and decide and come up with plans and agendas to make you fall. So understand, the wickedness of a woman, guys, you have to understand your woman nature, and you have to be the man. You are the head. And you have to understand that you have to be right. If everything goes wrong, you got to be right. You see, in the Garden of Eden, when Adam fell, what did he do? God, you gave me this woman. You know, he blamed God and the woman. And then she turned around and blamed the snake. And it was all this pointing of the finger. But in the book of Judges, when God got that thing straight with them, he set it back in order. He said, you're going to do this. You're going to till the ground. And this is the order that I've set. You're going to do it with sorrow. You're going to work. And you're going to, bear children in pain. And the Satan will eat the dust of the earth. And so when it comes to the book of Judges, all those captivities that we went into, it was no pointing of the finger. You went into captivity. The Most High didn't come ask you, you're in captivity now. This is your fate as a people. No more pointing of the finger. And the Lord says he hates the pointing of the finger. And guess what? It's up to us men to figure it out. Let's go even further. When you look at the Bible, when it talks about the wickedness of a woman and all the scriptures related to women, and better to dwell on a rooftop than in the house with a woman, and the wantonness of women, all of these things are representation of Israel too, because remember, we are the bride of Christ. We are God, the Most High's wife. Some of these things relate to us as a people. There's dual meanings to some of these scriptures when you're reading about the woman, because we as Israel are the wife of God, of the Most High. So therefore, we need to interpret these scriptures two ways. We need to look at ourselves as a people, as Israel, and how we acting, how wantonness we are, how unsatisfied we are, how lustful we are, how we want to divulge and take and accept everything from everybody. We accept other nationalities coming in our community, and so accepting and so wanting to be accepted by other people and wanting what everybody else has instead of accepting our own. We are that woman as well. So we have to get ourselves out of that mindset to be the Proverbs 31 woman, the virtuous woman. When the Lord gives us something, we make good with it. You know what I'm saying? We utilize our time properly. The Lord can invest in us. We care for the house of Israel. We care for our home and our people. We're building our people together. The Lord should be able to trust us. We have to become the wife that the Most High wants us to be. So therefore, we need to examine ourselves as men, as a nation as well. But right now, it's a new day. I'm going to say it like IUIC said it. It's a new day. There's a different man on the horizon, ladies. And he's going to be stern because he's trying to protect and build our nation again. And we can't wait till the kingdom comes. The kingdom does not come with observation. We have to start doing this now. Because there's going to be many that's not going to make it in the wilderness because they're not practicing these things. They're not exercising their faith. They're not studying the scriptures. So if you get into in the wilderness and you're not exercising, you're not moving this thing by faith and working, doing your deeds, guess what? You're just going to be there to burn. We have to start now. We have to start doing this now. Look at even if you just believe this earth gonna be here forever. If you some kind of way believe that, what are we gonna do as Israelites? Just let it consume us, because we're in a very bad state as a people. Look at the statistics. It's a horrible. There's no way we should be making it right now. There's no way we should even exist with some of the things we're doing. We're killing each other like it's going out of style. We're having kids out of wedlock at a rate like you wouldn't believe. Crime and violence. Man, how are we making it? Extreme poverty. Extreme ignorance. All with all this knowledge around us. Surrounded. Your cell phone is a walking book, and we're more ignorant now and arrogant than we ever have. We are like the Sodomites, Sodom and Gomorrah. We have all this knowledge available to us, but we are more arrogant. We don't study, we don't read, but we're more arrogant than ever. I look at these kids, man, I'm like, they don't know nothing, and they have all the information in their hand, but they're more arrogant with less skills than any generation I've ever known. How does that happen? It's time, y'all. It's time for the Most High, for Christ to come back soon. And it's time to start working what you believe in, working your faith, working the word. It's time to start breaking away from things that you know that's not good for you and reestablishing things as men and as women in this truth. So, men, never underestimate our women. You know, they are our greatest weakness. And when you realize that that's your weakness, then you know how you need to move. And that is, you need to get closer to the Most High. That is, we need to get closer. What does it say in the book of Proverbs? It says, Proverbs 31 and verse 3, give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings. Man, women are powerful, man. If you give your heart to women, look, man, that can destroy a whole lot. Even in the book of Ezra, First Ezra 3 and 12, it talks about how Darius the king, they were talking about what's the strongest thing in the world, on the planet, and it turned out to be that women are the strongest. It says First Ezra 3rd chapter 12th verse, the third wrote, women are the strongest, but above all things truth beareth away the victory. Women are the most powerful entity on the earth. Stop playing. This is real. You better know that. And if you don't, then you'll fall into it thinking that you're stronger. But you need to know that our weakness has always been the woman from the beginning of time. The Lord made that thing good. So we need to make sure that we put nothing before the creature that He created, which is us. And anything on earth, anything above earth, anything under the waters, we're not supposed to put nothing before the Most High. Get that, know that. And be very careful where you putting your heart at when you meet a good woman. You don't make her your strength, you make the Most High your strength. Or we'll be back where just look at it right now. Women are running things. Women making all the decisions on politics and government because they are the majority. Women are the majority in the workplace. Women are the majority in college. Look at the results. Every nationality of people, every captivity we went in, women, especially in Egypt, women were gods and kings. They were able to reign. And a lot of the things we got was from them. And that always leads to hell. If you want to control the people, you reverse the orders. And that is put the woman before the man, woman and children before the man. And when you do that, you can control them for centuries, hundreds, until the Lord does something. Economically, it's the best thing to do because the women are the biggest spenders. And so economically, you're going to be oppressed. You'll never change anything with that, because once women get in power, it's hard for them to relinquish that easily. Once they taste that power, and women do not pay attention to the destruction, they just keep walking forward. They're not looking behind them to see what trails of sorrow and pain that's being left. They keep going. They keep going. They keep believing that it's going to get better. It's going to get, just let it. They will keep going until the end, till it destroys them. That's the way they're made in general. So we have to be the leaders. God put his spirit in man, people think men are root. No, we have the heart of God. We're the apple of God's eye. So we need to make sure that because men care for all. It's sad because a lot of people think that men are just so destructive. Man, that's what we've become in this Western society. Just looking at my father, people could say, "Oh, your dad is this," but when I look at my dad, he took care of everything, the whole family. We had our rough spots, but overall, he did a great job. And we hate giving it up to men. We hate saying that men are good, and we look at them through the eyes of the media, and we just bash our men. But when I look at my father, he did everything. He took care of us. He provided. He sacrificed. But it's not popular to say that now. It's not popular to say that. You can't say that. Not that I didn't have a great mother. I do have a great mom. But we cannot forsake what our father did. So anyway, I'm in this video. I wish blessings to all of Israel. I want to thank all those Israelite groups that have given me motivation. Sakari, GOCC, IOG, Pastor Dow, Shah Zawan. I can go on and on and on. I listen to almost all the groups, and I think that all of them are greatly valued. We don't agree about everything. I don't agree about everything, but I do value some of my prayers have been answered through all of these groups, and not one in particular. The Lord can use one person or an entire group. So I want to thank you for letting the Lord use you to inspire many of us Israelites. And so keep us in your prayers, and I'll keep praying for you leaders and all of those brothers and sisters in Israel, great and small. So I wish you blessings, and I want to wish you peace. In the name of Christ, shalom.